All right, welcome to the NAESP Principal Podcast. I'm Andy Jacks. I'm the Senior Fellow for NAESP Centers for Advancing Leadership. I'm also the principal at the Nokesville School, a proud principal, proud educational advocate. I'm here with two of my great friends and two amazing leaders as well for our podcast today. We have Dr. Kevin Armstrong, principal of DuPont Hadley Middle School in Old Hickory, Tennessee, and NAESP President-elect. The man, President-elect. And we have Dr. Gracie Branch, Associate Executive Director of Professional Learning at NAESP, my partner in crime. And we are so excited to talk specifically about the National Conference on School Leadership. And this is a big one, right? This is a big one. We have K-12, pre-K-12.
Pre-K-12.
And this is going to be the first time in a while we've brought everybody back together. So this is exciting because we have a range of different sessions, great speakers coming on. So Dr. Branch, Gracie, what do you think are some key summary things right away that people should know about this conference?
Well, I want to make sure that they know that this is a joint venture with the National Association of Secondary School Principals. We've named our conference United, and it is a conference on school leadership, and everything is tailored for leaders at every levels, wherever they are in their career. And it's just exciting to think that we will have principals pre-K through 12 sharing their knowledge base with principals from all over the nation.
Well, that's one of the coolest things I've ever had the experience of with this conference is because you do have so many different viewpoints that are all focused on the same thing. How can we make our schools better for kids, right? So, Kevin, what are you thinking about with this conference coming up? I know we've been to conferences together lots of times, and we've had a lot of cool experiences. What's your first thoughts coming into this year's conference?
I'm really excited. As Gracie stated, the fact that we are collaborating with NAESP. I attended the last collaborative effort back in Philadelphia, and so I'm excited to have everyone back together again. Selfishly, I'm excited that it's going to be back in my hometown in Nashville, but just excited to hear from pre-K through 12 leaders, and just knowing that going in, I'm going to have the opportunity to have a wide spectrum of presenters to hear from and learn from, and then to connect with principals from across the country, from pre-K through high school, over the course of those days of that conference. So yeah, very exciting time.
I have a real question though for you, Kevin. Are you ready for the speech? You're taking on a role now, man. You got the big stage. Are you ready for that? The president.
I am ready. I'm really excited again, to not only to give the speech, but to be able to have this conference come to my hometown where I was born and raised. It's a really exciting time. So yes,
I know you'll do an awesome job. We'll practice. You'll do great. So Gracie, what are the main speakers we have? I know we have some big speakers that are already lined up. There's still a lot of things being worked out. So anything you want to highlight with that?
We do. We have John Gordon coming as our opening keynote speaker. Very excited about that. John had actually done a leadership conversation earlier in the year for NAESP that was facilitated by former fellow Adam Welcome. So we were able to get John, and then recently announced, very excited, that Rahima Ellis, the chief education correspondent at NBC News, will also be at our second keynote session. So along with a lot of not just principals, and I need to clarify this, principals and assistant principals, aspiring principals, having sessions for all those different groups is really important. I am really fortunate in this role that I get to attend a lot of national conferences. Mm-hmm. And yes, there'll be some sessions that are for principals. But at this conference, it's like every session are for school leaders. So very excited about that.
Yeah, it's all about practitioners and the work we're really doing in schools. We were talking before this. I went to a conference one time. I won't mention the association, the name, or whatever it was, but I was the only principal there, and it's about schools. And I was thinking, man, we're like the exact opposite of that with this. We have all the school leaders. We're talking about all the strategies that would help schools be better. Right. And the cool thing is, if you're going to get something from every session, right? So whether it's something that you need or whether it's something you're thinking about. There's just so much going on that you'll be able to take something away all the time.
Right. And we even have, if people want to come in early, which we hope they do, we have some more intense pre-conference sessions so that our members can take a deeper dive into content. And we have Baruti Cafelli, Robin Jackson, Kim Campbell, and we have the Khan Academy that's going to be presenting on artificial intelligence. They've done some amazing work, and that's a real interest area for our members. So really encouraging people to take a look at those sessions and sign up.
Right, and one of the cool things is that you have the keynotes, but you also have all of these sort of breakout sessions that are, I don't know, sometimes a little more informal, more interactive, things like that. I know for me, and Kevin, I'm asking you in a second, if you're looking forward to like a keynote or a breakout or some experience you've had before with that you can remember about. For me, looking forward to John Gordon, I remember his book, Soup. It's sort of a simple book, but I remember that was a big takeaway for me. The idea that a lot of people can make soup, but it somehow tastes different based on that sort of love and compassion and care that you're putting into making the soup. And so no matter what you do, each person, and just like in their leadership journey, is going to have a different spin on even the same strategy in their school. And so it's okay to be who you are. It's okay to be super passionate about what you're passionate about, and just be you all the way is kind of the thing. I remember from that book is a big takeaway. So I'm looking forward to him speaking, but all the breakouts are really good too. So Kevin, you have any thoughts on breakouts you've had in the past or keynotes or things like that at a conference that you're looking forward to?
I of course am looking forward to John Gordon, Mr. Energy Bus himself. Read the book and really took a lot of material from that book that I use today in my building. But I am always come away amazed at some of the presenters that maybe I have not heard from before and don't know a lot about. And so going in, I know that there's some amazing people that are going to be coming in that I will have the opportunity to hear from for the first time, and just excited about the possibility of what they're going to bring to the table. But every year at every conference, I'm always on the way back home. I'm always, making sure that I'm taking notes at the conference and being able to look over those and things that I actually take into my campus for the following year are just some of the things that I've taken away from the conferences over the years.
Right. I remember even last year, so I'm a K-8 building and I have middle school and elementary. And what's cool about this kind of conference is this is everybody at this conference. So you're going to have a lot of different opportunities to really learn things that you had no idea about. So last year, something as simple as scheduling and how to use advisory periods to maximize like SEL or different strategies within the advisory period, which, what's cool about a group like this is you can learn all sorts of rabbit holes that you want to learn about. And what I really urge people is that if you are elementary or you are high school, to really sort of reach across the aisle, so to speak, and go and visit some other sessions and learn more about what other people are going through. Because I think it would really broaden your horizons on what education is really about. Because so many of us just get in that same, routine of doing the same kinds of things, but then you see something that really just makes you completely rethink the work that you're doing. I know for me, going to these kind of conferences have had that effect. I know we've talked about, Adam's Welcome's brought this up. I know for me, I'm Hamish Brewer. Back in the day, years ago, we were at Nashville, so it's kind of coming back to Nashville. He and I just talked about this, and it made a huge difference in both of our careers. And to think that we're coming back to Kevin's hometown, and it's really exciting again because it could be a real. I'm not like overstating this. It could be a really complete renovation of your school leadership and your career if you embrace and accept it. And so that's a big piece of this one coming up. So do you have, so we talked before about like different strategies that people are sharing. What do you think will be some of the big strategies that people will be sharing this year? Because we talked about science of reading, and some of these different things are really hot topics. Do you think it'll be more SEL? Do you think it'll be more straight academics, a little mix? What do you guys think about that?
I know last year when we looked at our comments from the previous conference that instructional leadership was really heavy on everybody's minds. That's one of our conference strands. So we definitely will be hitting that piece. But again, the SEL, are equity, diversity, and inclusion.
Mm-hmm.
I think those are all hot topics. And of course, on the forefront is this problem that people have been having with students being absent.
Oh, yeah, chronic absenteeism.
Chronic
Yep.
absenteeism on everybody's minds. I
Right.
just think that there'll be something for everyone
Right.
here at this conference. We
Right.
try really hard to provide that variety and that balance.
Yeah, and going back, and Kevin, I'll shoot that to you as well. Going back, something like chronic absenteeism it is interesting to see how different schools and different levels approach the same problem.
Right.
And it'll be interesting to see these side conversations that could happen and different ideas that you could take away back to your building. Do you think, like chronic absenteeism, that's a big one that we'll be hearing about, Kevin? Do you think there's some other ones?
Definitely want to hear more information on chronic absenteeism. I know that personally that is an issue on our campus. I'm also interested in learning more about AI. I know that's something that is that's another hot button topic that has been coming up, and as a principal, I want to know more about it and how I'm able to implement it and to start giving training to our teachers so that our teachers are comfortable at whatever level that actually looks like.
Right.
So, yeah.
And that's an emerging AI. It's fascinating right now.
It is.
With our district just opened up the Microsoft side of it. There's a Microsoft version of AI that you can use. That's more of a it's not open, I guess. It's like your ChatGPT or something like that. So, and I know people will be at this conference we talked about with AI before, and even if you don't hear about it in a session, there'll be these side conversations that'll come up where you can learn a lot about these topics as well. I think school discipline will be a big one. I think English learners, how to do it, students with disabilities, trying to reach out to them and see how they could be more successful. I think there's going to be a lot of different things. What's one thing that you would tell someone if they're on the fence about attending a conference, whether it's money or whether it's, I know a lot of people that get nervous because they see all these people connected, like we were connected, but they don't understand, like Kevin and I or Gracie and I, we all met either online real quick or, in person, and all of a sudden you're just boom, it's just friends, right? And then from there on, you're texting and calling, and so many of us are like that. But there may be people who maybe get overwhelmed by the experience of so many different school leaders, and they just maybe more shy by nature, or they don't know where to begin. What's some of your advice for people like that?
I would say just relinquish control for 2 or 3 days. Go into a conference with an open mind. You have the opportunity to meet people from all over the country that you've never met before. And then, don't go in and go to your favorite sessions or your favorite speakers. Give yourself an opportunity to grow and stretch yourself and go to some sessions that maybe you haven't thought about, or, if you have a really strong, literary background, go to some math or some science sessions and things like that. So that's what I would say, is just go in with an open mind and allow yourself to have the opportunity to connect with folks that you've never connected with, and then to attend some sessions that you probably wouldn't attend.
Right.
And I would just echo what Kevin just said about connecting. That's a big part of the conference, and providing ways for our participants to network with each other. Going in, we do have a community of practice for assistant principals, early career principals. We have all our centers for advancing leadership, and there'll be ways and sessions and meetups for people to connect with some people that they've already met in those groups. And if they haven't been a part of those groups, they're invited to come, join, and meet the facilitators and other members of those groups. We'll have a big social the night before the conference starts with NAESP members and NAESP members. So there'll be opportunities for people to really get to network with colleagues.
And don't be afraid just to go up to somebody. If you see somebody on Twitter or social media, whatever X it is now, all this, and you're like, I don't know if they'll say something, I guarantee you they will be happy to talk to you. Right? It's we're all in the same boat. We're all doing the same thing here, and we all care about kids. I know for me, I love this idea of the pre-K-12, just because every conversation has a potential to broaden your horizons about education. And I think when you think about the sessions themselves, I know we'll have a NAESP Centers for Advancing Leadership session
Yes.
that we're going to do to really maximize some of our strategies in the different areas that we're focused on. There's different, there's so many sessions. I know you had to really had a tough call.
We had a great response to the call for proposals.
How many proposals were put in?
Oh my gosh, almost
Thousands?
close to 900.
Wow.
And trying to make sure that we had a well-balanced program was really important to us, but just appreciate all of the people that submitted and really looking forward to meeting some of our presenters. Of course, some I've known for a long time, but we always have presenters that are presenting for the first time that had great content and that our members need to hear from.
Yeah, and there's so many of these. What's cool about this one is there are a lot of people who are basically doing their keynotes as breakout sessions.
Right.
And so you could see like legitimate, expensive keynotes that are out there as these breakout sessions all day long. So it is such a cool opportunity for you to see these people live in person, authors that are speaking, and you can get to know.
Well, we've got Todd Whitaker's doing one of
Right.
our ticketed luncheons.
Right.
So it's a great opportunity, like you just said, for principals to get to see a lot of different quality speakers.
Right. And so what do you have any advice if you're attending? Meaning, like, I know for me, taking breaks, like we need to get some people takeaways here. Like if you're going to attend and you're already signed up and you're ready to rock and roll, because I know so many of our friends are there, they're coming, right? But what are some of those advice about like taking breaks? If it gets overwhelming, if you need a break, it's okay. If you're in a session, it's not working for you, go to another session. Don't just give up, right? Stay there the whole day. Make sure that you stay focused on what we're doing, trying to learn. What are some thoughts about advice?
Well, I would say make sure that you go down to the exhibit hall area.
Yeah.
NAESP will have a designated space down there. NASSP will have our staff members down there. It's a great way to connect with each of the association staff in person. We are down there to be helpful, answer any of your questions. So that's definitely a way to get the information that you might need. And make sure that you go to the socials, that you are meeting people, interacting, and there'll be plenty of staff to help you if you need help and support or have additional questions.
Okay. All right.
Make sure you attend the Center for Advancing Leadership Social
Yes.
and the sessions that we have to offer. I would say, for all of the board members and staff members here at NAESP, definitely make sure that you come up and introduce yourself. We'd love to meet you. We'd love to connect with you to see what your needs are and what we can do to support you during your time at the United Conference. So, yeah.
And speaking about that in your role, what's one of those main goals of a big conference like this, connecting with our organization?
Just really sharing all of the great things that we have to offer here at NAESP. And the takeaway is really for people to leave here on fire and to connect with our podcast, to our website, to really connect at the state level, but just to find their niche, be it women in leadership, middle level leadership, whatever space that looks like. We feel like we have something to offer, but just as they leave the conference, to keep that fire and to continue to hang out with us here at NAESP and to continue to grow. I feel like we're in the process of doing that. We've got some folks that are really gaining a lot of knowledge through the offerings that we have, and so just to continue that path.
All right, as we close out though, I want to hear about Nashville. See, I want to hear about Nashville.
Oh, you
like,
can't
Nashville
go wrong in Nashville,
I've been
right,
to Nashville
Kevin?
a couple times, but I don't live in Nashville. I want to know, my man, like what are the spots? Like what do we have to? Because the cool thing about this time, last time we had to travel from the place we were staying in like 15 minutes to get downtown. But this time we're downtown.
Right.
So you're gonna hear country music every block, everywhere you go.
Correct.
So what's this? What's the plan here?
Well, the sessions will take place. The conference itself is at the Music City Center, which is probably about a block away from all of the major hotels. One block over, I guess that would be north is going to be Broadway, which is where all types of music and activities and things for you to get into are all taking place
after the sessions are
after the sessions for the day. At the conclusion of the day. All of those things are there. And then just the downtown area has been, really vibrant. And we have minor league baseball. We have Major League Soccer that will be taking place during that time. But I'm a little biased, obviously, but Nashville has grown by leaps and bounds over the last 5 to 10 years. And we're ready. We're really excited to welcome all of the folks that are going to be in town for the conference.
You also have great art museums, because I've been to some, and also great shopping.
Excellent shopping.
Excellent shopping.
Yes.
So
sure.
Is it mandatory I'm bringing my boots, though?
You can bring your boots.
I'm wearing the boots.
Or you can help the Nashville economy by purchasing some boots while you're
I
there.
like it. Yes. You're a man of your community. I like that.
That's right. That is right.
That's great. Well, any last words you're thinking about going to this conference? I know I'm super pumped. This is going to be a big one. This could be big, lots of people, exciting, the energy. I know for me, like so many leaders, passion is contagious. And when you're around other people that love what they do, that really are passionate for their schools, it fires you up and it makes you reinvigorated. And as much as I need a break from school at times, I also need that, that energy level, that spike to bring me back to get after it again for our schools. So
yeah.
What do you think? You ready to go?
I just need for everyone, who's hearing this to make sure that you register.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great event. We're really excited, and we know that we're going to have some great presenters that are coming in town that are really going to allow us to take away some great things that are going to ultimately get back to helping children.
That's right.
Right. We've got registration online now at the NAESP website, www.naesp.org. And so I would also say that we want you to come to the conference. We want to meet you, but we don't want that just to be one and done. We want you to know about NAESP and, like Kevin says, what we offer, so that that we can help and support you the rest of your leadership career.
Mm-hmm. Well, and like Kevin and I both have had this amazing opportunity through NAESP and so many of the fellows and other people involved. You're right. It is what you make it. If you want to be involved, if you want to be connected, if you want to learn and grow, NAESP has these opportunities for you. And we're here to help you in your leadership journey. So that's exactly right. So I think we're going to wrap up, but we're excited. So register right now. If you're not registered, you got to get on there right now. Do it before you forget, because you're going to want to be a part of this. You're going to regret it if you don't. I can tell you that for sure. So make sure you register right now. Dr. Branch, Dr. Armstrong.
Thank you.
Great talking with you guys. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you.